Kathy?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear.
All right, well, it's not coming through my earbuds though.
You got, oh, yeah,
Can you hear me?
yes,
Daggone it, why won't it connect to the...
yes.
All right, I'm trying to connect my earbuds to the laptop.
Yeah.
What about now?
Yes. You got echo going on.
I do?
No, I think it's the YouTube live.
Okay, what about now?
You, hey, Chris, how's it going?
Good, how you doing?
Pretty good. I'm starting the board meeting
Okay. Yes, sir.
and I had YouTube live on because we're doing virtual tonight.
Yes.
Yeah. And it was causing an echo.
You didn't have the YouTube live up, did you?
I- Um, yes, I guess.
You don't want to you don't want to have your meeting going and then you going at the same time.
Oh,
The lane going, you don't want it. I can, I can pull up the YouTube page. I'm sitting here working at the moment.
okay. It says, I think, yeah, right now it says stop. I think I closed it out, but it says stop live stream. So maybe I'm good to go now.
Well, you don't want, well, you wouldn't want to stop the live stream.
Right. I mean, but
You just close out the the YouTube link that you know where you're viewing this.
yeah, that's what I did.
Yes, sir. That yeah, that'll definitely cause that kind of yeah, that kind of echoing. Yes, I'll pull it up right now and check it out. I'll get back to you. Yeah, yeah, I think we did the same thing. I think we had the same problem testing.
Okay.
So,
Kathy's on right now, so I'll just test it out with her. It won't.
I don't. I don't hear an echo.
Yeah. Well, so I had YouTube Live um hauled up on one of my screens, and I had to close it out. So once I close it out, we're good to go. So we're streaming, but I can't have both things going at the same time. Otherwise it causes an echo. So we're good. All things you learn.
Why is this not?
Hey, good afternoon, all. Can I get a mic check?
Gotcha.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, I'm here. Tim, I'm here. Thorn. Hmm? Where'd you go? Hmm?
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jeff Hayes. I'm chairman of the James Allen Charter High School, and I'd like to welcome you to the March 16th monthly meeting. I want to make sure that we basically have a quorum as far as board members before we get started here. I see Miss Woodall. I see Mr. Musey. I see Miss Manigault, Mr. Schumacher, Miss Myers, or Mr. Price. Are you there? All right.
Mr. Price
nothing
could not
heard.
make it. Mr. Price could not make it.
Okay. All right. Well, then let's go ahead and we'll get started. So I appreciate everybody's flexibility today. Obviously, with the weather situation and CCSD kind of forced our hand in closing facilities, that we were first to go to a virtual format. So appreciate everyone's patience, and I was thankful that everybody was able to dial in, and sounds like everybody's connected. So with that, we'll move along with our agenda. From the board, can I receive a motion from the board for approval of tonight's agenda, please?
So moved.
Dr. Musey with the motion. Can I get a second, please?
Second.
All right, Ms. Woodall with the second. Thank you very much. Next will be approval of the minutes from the February 17th meeting. Can I get a motion to approve those minutes that were distributed earlier?
So moved.
All right,
Second.
Ms. Woodall with the motion and Ms. Manigault with the second. Thank you very much. All right, that moves us to the public comment section of our meeting. And tonight we do have two speakers that are signed up. Ms. Rizzo and Mr. Warthen, are you both there?
Yes, I'm here. Hi.
Okay, great. Before we get started, just wanted to make sure I had sent out, and I apologize for it being late, kind of a sign of the actual virtual sign up that the school used during COVID. It kind of outlays the do's and don'ts and basically guidance from CCSD. Were you both able to basically review that material or had any questions?
Yes, I reviewed it. No questions.
Yes,
Okay,
and I read
Mr.
it
Ward?
as well. No questions.
Great. Okay. All right. So I'll turn it over. Ms. Rizzo was the first to contact us. So I'll basically turn the floor over to her, give her 2 minutes for comment. There can be no questions asked of the board, no answers provided by the board. We are strictly in listening mode. So with that, Ms. Rizzo, I'll turn it over to you, and you have 2 minutes to address the board.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm Jessica Rizzo. I'm the parent of a player. Thanks for your time, everyone. I have a few things to touch on, but primarily I wanted to offer some thoughts on the hiring process for the head coach of the volleyball program. Coach Holland was very responsive in our email communication this week. He did address the fact that he's posted for this job across 15 states, and he's still in the process of collecting resumes for it. While I think that's a very wide net to cast, I'm glad he's taking time to figure out who the right candidate is for this position. And knowing the decision was made to replace the head coach the first week of January, we're now approaching that 3-month marker from that date. I'm hopeful the board can work with Mr. Holland to establish a resume cutoff date in the near future, and then set a deadline to interview and hire a new head coach. Surely there needs to be time in mind to make that decision. We're now in the open gym season with summer conditioning just 2 months away. The parents would like to know what those anticipated timelines are for starting that interview process and then hiring that next coach. Mr. Holland noted that many teachers outside the district may not want to make decisions about relocating or transferring schools until after the current school year is over, which sounds like June. That timing would be damaging to the program if that's the expected deadline. That would be 6 months after the original position was vacated. We are hoping that our players will have time to establish a rapport with the new coach sooner versus later, and then they can decide if they want to dedicate their whole summer to workouts, camps, and preseason practices. Additionally, the coach will have to sign our teams up for tournaments and set summer camp and practice dates and share that schedule proactively so families can plan around those dates. For all of these reasons, parents would like the board to work directly with Mr. Holland to establish a deadline for conducting interviews and hiring the head coach before the team loses momentum and risks missing practices and tournament opportunities because of that delay. We need a strong leader in the seat to carry the program forward, and we are looking forward to another year for our dedicated athletes who deserve to have the best experience possible in this coming season. The other reason I wanted to address the board today is short. The former head coach has been passing through the open gym regularly to observe and converse with Coach Kiki. That doesn't seem like that should be allowed, and it's making the players feel like that former coach still has influence over the program and over the practices. So I was hoping that could be addressed as well. That's all I had today. Thank you guys for your time. I wanted to keep it short and sweet. Appreciate your help.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Rizzo. Appreciate you signing up and appreciate your input. All right. Over to you, Mr. Warthen.
Okay, well, that pretty much covered a lot of what I was going to say, pretty much all of it, except for the psychological aspect of the girls in this program. They're getting the feeling that they're not being taken seriously and that this sport is just something for the girls to do, whereas maybe if it was like the baseball team or the football team, that a coach would have been chosen in a relatively quick amount of time. So they're kind of getting the feeling that they're not getting the attention that they deserve, especially for a team that actually, could have won state last year. And it's the feeling that they actually have that they are not being taken seriously as a sport at this school. So that's basically all I wanted to add to what was already said.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Warthen. Appreciate you and Ms. Rizzo's input. We value input from parents in the community and appreciate you all stepping forward and spending your evening with us. Thank you very much. All right, that wraps up the public comment section of our meeting. Moving on to the next agenda item will be our financial report for approval. I don't know who's on from the finance company.
I don't see anyone on from them. I did notice, I don't know why the invitation for this meeting, it's put up there for a long time, but the invite list didn't have them on it, but they know all the dates. So
okay. Well, with that, I'll turn the floor over to Dr. Musi as our treasurer, and he can give us any inputs basically from his last finance committee meeting, anything that he wants to share in terms of financials. So Dr. Musi, the floor is yours.
All right, thank you. Winging it here. Looking at the financial report, if all of you have had a chance to look at it, you'll see now what I'm looking at. Our benchmarks are just about this. Yeah, benchmarks are the same as they've been the last number of months. Salary actual around 72% is between 72 and 74. Cash on hand, 128 in our enrollment, budget-wise based on 1596. If we can go to the next page.
Dr. Musi, I don't mean to interrupt, but Miss Crowder did just join.
We'll pass it on.
I'll stop sharing if she's a co-host.
Hey guys, I apologize. I did not have a link on my calendar for today.
Yeah, there's something, I think when I moved the January and February board dates from Monday to Tuesday, but not all those changes got saved for the rest of the school year. So I don't think it's your fault.
Okay, well, I certainly apologize. Yes, sir, I'm used to them being on Tuesday, so
No,
that's
there you
all
go.
right,
Yeah,
though.
yeah, yeah. I know you just got on. You want to share your screen, or were you busy making pasta?
Sure. I can share my screen. Let's see here. You'll have to give me capabilities.
Yeah, we're right there.
Ms. Crowder, just for your awareness, so the only time we ever move the meetings to Tuesdays when Monday is a holiday, like Martin Luther King Day and President's Day. So normally it'll be the third Monday of the month.
Understood. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
All right, guys. You should be able to see the critical financial metrics for the month of February.
Yep.
All right. Looking at the critical financial metrics for James Island, days cash on hand is sitting at about double the benchmark at 128 days. I did increase the enrollment from 1588 to 1596. This is based on the finalized 45th day count. Operating net income as of February is $911,000, with total net income including capital items at a loss of $1,087,000. Total operating cash for the school sits at $9,332,000, with $4.3 million of that being Ameriprise cash. As always, you can find an itemized list of items and accounts payable in the acknowledgement packet, but as of February, that number was just under 70,000. Of course, we do pay those bills daily or every other day, so those items have been cleared out. Moving on to the profit and loss statement, looking at revenue, specifically state aid to classrooms, we did increase that budgeted revenue number to $26,369,000. Again, that's based on the 45th day count, and that number came straight from CCSD. As of the end of February, you've realized 17 million of that budgeted total 27 million, putting you at a total of 36% remaining. The 691,000 that you see here, that did come in February. So that's that subcategory of state aid to classroom, the 3503 payment. You do still have another one of those coming in. So according to the documentation from CCSD, that was payment 1 of 2. Usually those payments are about the same amount each time, but we will wait to see exactly how much that second payment will be. In other revenue that came in February, you guys did receive your IDEA revenue at $225,000, putting total revenue received through the month of February at $18,692,000 and 35% remaining. That's tracking within 2% of where we'd expect you to be, with 33% being the ideal, about 1/3 of the school year left. Looking at expenses, overall, the school is sitting at about 33.61% remaining in operating expenses. So as I mentioned just a second ago, 33% is kind of ideal. So you're really right on the money there. Total expense through February, $17,780,000 of the budgeted $26,784,000. I did want to note here in operating net income that the budgeted net income for FY26 has increased to 2.1 million, and that's as a result of the increase in state aid to classroom revenue because of the increase in student count. In capital projects, total net income with capital projects is at a loss of $1,087,000, but that is because you're just under $2 million spent on capital projects. Any questions on the financials through the month of February?
No.
All right. If you guys think of anything, as always, please feel free to reach out.
Thank you, Ms. Crowder. Dr. Musey is our treasurer. Anything that you wish to add to Ms. Crowder's report?
No, we're doing fine. Financial reports are looking good and our financial status is great. So thank you.
Thank you. To the board, any questions for Ms. Crowder or Dr. Musey regarding financials?
No questions for me.
Nothing heard. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Crowder.
Thank you.
Moving on to the agenda, next item will be the leadership report. I'll turn that over to Ms. Cowart and Dr. Tucker, please.
All right, Ms. Cowart apologizes for not being here. She's in New Orleans at a math conference, so she's not on this evening. I imagine everyone has received the slides. I'm just going to give you a brief overview for the last few weeks. We had our Group 4 IB Science project going on, and we invited students from Stiles Point and James Island Elementary, and our students did a wonderful job presenting a variety of lessons from DNA, outdoor classrooms. It was really a special moment for the elementary students. Our social studies have been really busy. They've gone and to a lot of different, I know a lot of organizations joined together and took a trip to Magnolia Plantation when they were studying those specific units. Math and special ed, like I mentioned, are at the Joie de Vivre conference in New Orleans. And despite a few travel woes, I hear that is going pretty well. We do have some more pictures from our unified event for special ed department. We had just finished that last month, but there are some more highlights we put on there for you. Our ROTC is been, yes, sir.
You mind sharing that document with me?
Yes, sir. If you give me just a second.
Yeah, I forgot it. I'm sorry. I'll get it in the board folder form right now. You're muted right now. It's like COVID all over again. I'm guessing he has no mouse. Okay.
That's all right, Dr. Tucker. You can go ahead and proceed with your brief. It's in the folder, so. You're on mute, sir.
Yeah, I think he's stuck with how to unmute himself.
Yes,
there we go.
I was stuck. I'm here. I'm sorry about that. I'll just continue. We had our ROTC, and they're involved in a lot of different competitions, and they won second place at a state rifle marksmanship tournament. Our CTE department is very busy. Both of our business data applications programs had a lot of students receive their Microsoft Specialist Word Associate exams, and that's from Miss Miley and Miss Hillier's class. Art's been doing heavy recruitment and took a group of students to Camp Road Middle School, and so they're trying to market their programs at the middle school and show them all we have to offer. Our guidance department sponsored a Trident Tech Career Day and had 60 students join the event to learn about undergraduate programs. On our world language slides, we've been doing a lot of just different activities for February and March, Afro-Latinos specifically, and also we posted some of our pictures from our Mardi Gras celebration. The special ed department is still doing their lunch bunch at the Goodwill, and also individual groups for coffee delivery. And if you have a chance, look at the library. They have a classroom collaborations link with quick stats and programmings and exciting events that are taking place until the end of the year. So that's all I have.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Tucker. Any questions from the board for Dr. Tucker? Nothing heard. Thank you, sir. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Keep up the great work.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All right. Moving on to our next agenda item will be charter governance developments. Turn that over to Principal Thorne.
You. So there's 3 attachments on the agenda. The first one is Senate Bill 454. It's in the folder. Obviously, you can review that before you got here on your own time. So that's for your consumption. Obviously, it affects charter schools, so it's important for you all to know that. That bill still keeps intact the concept of what a charter school is supposed to be. The second attachment would be the ones labeled amendments. That would be amendments made by various people, but for sure the ones The font in green is what was submitted by CCSD, the CFO, Mr. Prentice, with the state legislature, and that's in there for your perusal. A lot more oversight and requesting of documents, and ultimately stating that our budget should be approved, our charter schools of locally sponsored schools, their budget annually should be approved by the Board of Trustees, which means they would have control over our budget and our school. That would be a major paradigm shift in the concept of the charter school law. The third one would be just a breakdown of the proposals or amendments by CCSD, and then what's in Senate Bill 454, which is now in committee. And then the key takeaways, the overall bill adds transparency and governance standards, which I think everyone's all about transparency and good standards. Local proposal would increase district control over charter schools operation, and the state legislature is about accountability and transparency. But if you control the school's budget, then you control the school. So that's informational. Any questions about those documents?
Yeah, so Mr. Thorne, what can we as a school and as a board of directors do proactively to basically help either refute some of this or, push back to maintain our independence? Just curious as far as your expertise in the field and what your recommendation is that what we can do.
Yeah. So I'm on the Public Charter School Alliance of South Carolina. I'm on that board. That's the major advocacy group for charter schools in South Carolina. They have a lobbyist, and they're in Columbia all the time. And so they've been meeting with Hembry, the senator who created that bill, or at least introduced it. And they're really advocating for the intent of what charter schools were established to be, and that was have autonomy. And if you have fiscal management, then that's control versus oversight. So they're working on that aspect, and I think I share this with our leadership team so they know, our teachers know, that you all know. I'll be in Columbia on March 23rd and 24th. The very next day is a day at the Capitol with the legislators. So I'm going to be down there myself talking to them directly to give them my point of view if I can. So right now, I want you guys to be aware of this, and you can obviously reach out to local government officials and our community. James Island, I went through the history of James Island back in 2003 when I went charter. It was because of the lack of financial support that this school went charter. There's a big giant poster somewhere in the main office storage room that shows the amount of money per pupil that James Island High School was getting, and it was a lot less than the other schools that were comparable in CCSD. So that was kind of like the point of the whole thing back in 3 years ago. So it'd been nice to have some transparency or some open lines of communication with CCSD about changes. I think everyone wants accountability and transparency. We know that there's things can go wrong and haywire, et cetera, with charter schools or any kind of nonprofit. Just as long as we stay true to the law and what it was supposed to accomplish and why it was written.
Okay.
So that's my
Thank
take.
you. Thank you for that. Does the board have any questions for Mr. Thorne on this topic? Nothing heard. Moving on to the agenda. The next two items are additional of personnel. One is an MTSS coordinator and the other one is an administrative assistant. Dr. Musey is our treasurer. I know in Finance Committee that you all meet for this. Is there anything that you wish to kind of kick off the discussion as far as with or basically your thoughts or endorsement either way of either one of these items before we turn it over to Mr. Thorne?
Not familiar with the first one, the MTSS coordinator. The second one, the administrative assistant that would work mostly guidance. There is a recommendation from finance to approve.
Okay.
We did
Great.
approve both of these, Dr. Musi, at the finance meeting.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Yeah, in
probably
that
confusing
case-
because, if you
Yeah, there
recall
should be a
last,
recommendation from finance for both.
Thank you, Dr. Musi. Mr. Thorne, anything you wish to add in terms of basically additional information on the two positions?
yeah, with regards to these two positions and the athletic pay schedule below, I already went through and started an FY 27 budget for next year, using the salary increases proposed by CCSD. That's $2,700 for teachers plus a step and 3% COLA for classified. And that showed us being around 1.9 something million dollars to the surplus. And if you factor in the athletic stipends, we be about $1.8 million to the good based on the initial projections. I will say there's some other athletic projects that are coming up, at least one for sure. That's the other lighting projects. That would be the softball field, the stadium, and putting lights on the practice field behind the stadium. That's probably going to be around $300,000. We'll try and build it into the budget for next year. We should have those numbers within a month or so. So I think next year's budget projections show that we're in a good place to add these positions. The admin assistant position, that was there back in 16, 17. And most schools our size have two positions in guidance because the size of our school. When we had a financial shortfall because of CCSD, that was absorbed and we lost the position. So we've needed this one for a while. And then going back to the MTSS coordinator, when we proposed this back, I want to say last spring, it was 504 and MTSS coordinator. And the board in that meeting said, it sounds like you're asking for two positions. And we said, well, just give us a year. And we've gone through the year. We realized, yeah, we want two positions because we have this panorama platform that is really robust and can do a lot of great things in our school for our kids. And then the 504s, we have a large number of them. And this person will also still be involved in MTSS. So I think these would be really helpful additions for us to service our kids that much better.
Okay, so from a process perspective, let's go through each one of these individually in terms of motions and votes. So first of all, will basically be the addition of an MTSS coordinator. Does anyone would like to make a motion as far as that position?
So moved.
Dr. Musi makes a motion basically to approve the MTSS coordinator position. Does anyone wish to second it?
Second.
Ms. Manigault with the second. Any discussion on the position or any further questions before we vote? All right, nothing heard. All those in favor of the approval of the MTSS coordinator position, please signify with an aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed with a nay. Okay, the position is approved. Next position is the addition of an administrative assistant billet. Do I have a motion either way on that agenda item?
So moved.
All right, Dr.
Second.
Musi with the motion to approve the addition of the administrative assistant position, and it sounds like I had Ms. Manigault there with the second. So all those in favor of the addition of administrative assistant billet, please signify with an aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed with a nay. All right,
That
the ayes have
wasn't
it.
Victoria though that seconded.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Manigault seconded.
Yes.
No,
No,
that
it was
wasn't
me.
me.
Oh,
It
was
was
it?
me.
Okay.
It's Kathy.
Okay, Ms. Woodall with the second. Okay. So, but the motion has passed, so the administrative assistant position is approved. The third that Mr. Thorne wrapped into the discussion was the next agenda item, the athletic pay scale and playoff bonus. Does anyone have or actually Dr. Musi is our treasurer. You commented at first on the first two billets. Do you have any comment at all in terms of the athletic pay scale?
We looked at a chart that had been prepared by Coach Holland showing the highest rate throughout the area and where we stand next to it. The attempt is for longevity and for uniformity to increase each of the athletic coaching positions. helping to assure that the people we have in place will stay with us for a long time.
Okay, and I'll second that. I met with Mr. Thorne and Coach Holland as well. So in my opinion, it is a necessity for us to Dr. Musey's point to not only be able to recruit the best of the best out there in terms of coaches, but to retain the coaches that we have. So I've seen it, and I think it's egregious. It puts us right in line, and it makes us competitive with other 5A schools, because now that we're basically at 5A, it's a whole nother level playing field, not only at the students on the field, but basically in terms of coaches and facilities as well. So I've seen it and concur with Dr. Musey's assessment on that. So
I have a question.
Yes.
Is there, I wasn't able to see what it is that we're talking about. Is there a shareable image of these numbers?
Yeah, I can share it. Okay, give me 1 second.
And sorry if I'm
Alright.
behind the group. I don't know if I missed something when I left early last month or just couldn't find it in the folder.
Our folders are they got a lot of stuff in them for sure. So
Yep.
it's overwhelming. I get it. So here's the proposal here. That's I didn't push share. There we go. And make that a tad bigger. So there's kind of a side by side comparison. They showed the current pay. I think what's also really good what Coach Holland and Coach Spivey did is they really worked to make sure that the non-revenue sports got paid more on par with compared to CCSD. They're double or triple what they pay for non-revenue sports, and they all put a lot of time in. So it's good they get rewarded for that.
Okay,
Ms. Woodall, is there anything you'd like to drill down on as far as what you're seeing here, or any specific questions you have?
I'm just trying to see. So which column is what they get now versus what they're going to get?
The first one is proposed, so it's recommended. Then be column C. D would be the benchmark. If you want to see their current pay, that's the third tab, current tab. That's this one here.
Okay, where is it on? I can go look in the folder after the meeting. What is it under in the folder?
It's under athletic pay scale and playoff bonuses. It's the only green document in the folder. It's a Google sheet.
Sure, I'll look after the meeting. I don't want to hold everybody up.
The real big, bottom line number is, let me find it. The total maximum increase it would do to our budget would be 169,500, so 170. Just given what I mentioned before about our projected budget for next year being with this included, maybe down to about 1.8. There'll be some other capital projects, but that's capital stuff. So we're in a position to do this, and that's the increase across all those stipends.
And this is each head coach for every sport is getting an increase.
Every coach across the board is getting an increase. Assistants, head coaches, etc.
Perfect. Okay, that was really the only question I was having.
Okay.
Great.
All right. With that, any further questions? Nothing heard. Would someone on the board like to put forth a motion regarding this agenda item, the athletic pay scale and playoff bonus schedule?
I move to approve the new playoff and athletic pay schedule.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Woodall, with the motion. Do I have a second from the board?
Second.
Dr. Musey with the second. All those in favor of the motion on the floor to approve the athletic pay scale and playoff bonus schedule, please signify with an aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed with a nay. All right, the ayes have it. That is approved. Another financial agenda item that we have is the modern turf quote for approval. I don't know if Coach Holland is on to speak to this, or Mr. Thorne, if he relinquished to you.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, great. Anything you want to basically add to the discussion regarding the turf quote, Coach Holland?
So whenever they were doing the backfields and the practice field behind the stadium, They ran into some issues with the irrigation that they needed to fix in order to tie all of them in. I received a text message saying that they needed to do some fixes. I asked for a quote so that we could get it approved. Evidently, they went ahead and did it without me ever getting a quote or approving it. This past month, we got a bill, one for 29,000, I think another one for 24 or 25,000, which is about a $55,000. They have yet, even though I continuously try to get them to tell me, they have yet to tell me or prove to me that this was approved. So in order for us to pay this, there was no purchase order or anything done. So this is why it's being brought to the board right now. The plan is, if I ever get them to answer me back with it, is to ask them to pay for some of that, and for us to not have to pay for all of it.
So just to synopsize, Coach Holland, basically they proceeded with unauthorized or unapproved work, and now they're basically looking to bill us for that work that was never, basically you never received a quote for it, you never had any discussion or basically approved it in any way, correct?
Correct. They've yet to give me any proof that anyone approved
Okay.
it. Yes.
Okay. So I take it this topic's just informational at this point, and you're going to update us at the next monthly meeting?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Okay, great. Okay. Does the board have any questions for Coach Holland on this topic? All right. Nothing heard. Thank you, Coach Holland.
Yes, sir.
All right. And just as a recap, so of the aforementioned positions, thank you to the board for approving these. For awareness, this is what the board does from a billet perspective. We basically approve the billet. We basically allocate the funding for the billet. And at that point, we turn it over to Principal Thorne and his administrative staff, who basically solicits candidates, interviews, reviews resumes, interviews candidates, and they do the down select. So thank you for the board for getting those, kicking those wheels in motion. With that, we'll move to our board subcommittee reports. First on the docket, finance, Dr. Musi. Anything to report?
As was reported with the potential change, or at least attempted change, regarding the finances of schools, including charter schools, we thought it wise to make sure that when we prepare a budget, we've prepared everything we could possibly put in, including anticipated, even unanticipated expenses, so that we show an accurate budget without having to amend it numerous times throughout the year. And if anyone is monitoring it, they'll see at the beginning the expectation of a lot of changes, a lot of expenses, a lot of reality versus things being changed even up to the fourth quarter.
Okay.
And that's the report.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Musi. Any questions for Dr. Musi on that? Nothing heard. All right. Capital projects. I know Mr. Schumacher's heading that up. Is anybody working with Mr. Schumacher or like to report anything?
I can report that we're going to be meeting with the 3 architectural firms that applied for the stadium project. That's going to be next week, I want to say. And then we'll select from there. So that's what's going on with that. And then I mentioned the baseball lighting project going on probably this summer. We'll get the money for that, the budget from CCSD for that.
All right.
That's it.
Any questions for Mr. Thorne regarding capital projects? Nothing heard. Next subcommittee report, principal evaluation and support. I have nothing to report there. And the next would be the community engagement. Ms. Manigault, anything to report on your end?
No new reports from us. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll add to that. As many of you know, I mentioned the last meeting that we are looking to establish a annual memorial golf scramble in honor of Coach Gary Gist, who passed away a couple months ago. His family set up a scholarship fund there at the high school. So we had our initial meeting last week. very positive turnout and a lot of basically support that sponsors and volunteers want to basically help out with the initiative. So tentatively, we're looking at scheduling this event in October to coincide with our Hall of Fame banquet. So we're looking at a Thursday or Friday. We'll look to have probably 36 teams, so two teams, two fours for each hole, and play it as like an all-day tournament with maybe a post-party celebration somewhere. So more to follow on that, but wheels are in motion, and we're getting some very, very positive initial feedback on that event. So any questions regarding that? Nothing heard. Moving on to the agenda, maintenance report. Mr. Thorne.
All right. All the fire-related roll-up doors in the campus have been inspected and tested for the 25-26 school year. CMI Energy Management Control Company is still working on nights and weekends to get recently changed HVAC units back and automated in the program. As you know, we had a lot of our units changed out in the last year and a half. A 2.5-inch wall water supply riser was leaking between the boys' and girls' restrooms around room 207. It's been repaired. They had to go inside the wall and actually take out the cinder block and put it back. It was really very involved. And then they did 61 work orders since the last board meeting. Any questions on that?
Thank you, Mr. Thorne. Any questions? Nothing heard. I need to go back a couple slots. I inadvertently skipped over the athletic report. So Coach Holland, if you're still with us, I'll turn the floor over to you for the athletic report.
Yeah, so we don't have slides for this month. Right now, a lot of the spring sports are just getting started. They're a few weeks. They're a few weeks into playing, so we'll have a report for the next time. As Mr. Thorne stated, we will look next year to get softball lights, new football lights, and practice field lights. And I mean, that's really about it with all the sports. We have all of our spring sports are underway. All our fall sports are doing open season right now. So it's really busy right now.
All right. And Coach Helen, do you want to mention to the board members? I know you responded to a parent's inquiry regarding the volleyball position in terms of where we're at in status. Do you mind sharing that with the board as well?
Yes, I have gotten a lot of resumes that have been sent in. I've actually reached out to multiple people to ask advice from people who are very successful in volleyball. More than likely, in the next couple of weeks, we will start interviewing people for the position. It's as of right now, this is when all the teachers usually start looking for other jobs or say that they're no longer going to be employed. So now we're kind of get a better idea of what positions we have available at the school to open that up a little bit more. But in the next couple of weeks, we definitely look to start interviewing. So we're putting together a group of people to do all the interviews. And hopefully we can kind of move forward with that in the next 3 or 4 weeks and have a person in place for that position.
All right. Thank you, Coach Holland. Any questions from the board for Coach Holland regarding the athletic report? Nothing heard. All right. Moving to our tonight's last agenda item, the school leadership report. Mr. Thorne, back over to you.
Mr. Thorne, you're muted.
Good old 2020. Thank you. Yeah. So culinary was at the Charleston Wine and Food Festival this past weekend. And they did an exceptional job. There were rock stars there. Both our chefs were there, along with Richard Gordon, who's over CT now for CCSD. As far as science, they installed a fence along by the outdoor classroom and moved some planters. Coach Fair's class helped build planters for them, the wood structures, put them inside of them. They went to DNR again to do some sampling and some marsh work. Then IB Science Day was, I think, last Friday or so, where they brought in kids over from Styles Point and James Elementary and did mini lessons and labs with those kids. It was just great to see the young kids in the building. They were so curious. That does kind of go away as they get older, unfortunately. On a side note, this is a really cool scholarship one of our students got. It's not actually part of our school, but it's a really awesome scholarship. Coach Hepner help bring the Western Golf Association scholarship to the Muni Golf Course, and Cole Miller received a full tuition and housing scholarship from WGA. They got 380 per year, with about 1,000 applicants. I think when you hear that 380 kids get it out of 1,000, and it's a full ride scholarship with housing, hopefully that program can grow at the Muni Golf Course. But congrats to him and Coach Hepner. As far as EOC, we went through and did benchmark testing last Thursday and Friday. We're doing the data analysis this Wednesday morning during the delayed start. We'll crunch those numbers, use that data to drive instruction going on the rest of the semester. Performing arts, big thing coming up is their Super Bowl of the year is their musical. Once Upon a Mattress is going to be March 27, 28, 29. But you can see I asked for some feedback on all the people that are involved. The entire performing arts department, the art department's involved. Mr. Arnett, Mr. Ferrier building the sets. Mrs. Iverson does the choreography. 40 plus choir students, 22 drama students. So it's a huge production that involves a lot of kids, and that's just a great thing to see happen. So please go on out. So you got Friday and Saturday at 7, and the Sunday matinee. And our enrollment you can see down here is at 1552 so far. So that's steady enough for us. Won't affect our budget. School choice doesn't really matter again until later in April, but it's that timeline. As far as school safety, 42 Yonder searches, 4 classroom searches, 8 student searches. We have 130 cameras on our new camera system, with 60 to 70 being platformed within a week. So it'll be around 200. And as far as technology, Mr. Nissoff's working on the FY 26-27 budget, which is what Dr. Musi kind of alluded to about finding those big numbers to put in the budget. So new teacher laptops, Chromebooks, one-to-one device model, and then future building tech needs. So those are always pretty costly items. And here's a report from Atlantic South on the science project. So the framing's going up with the restrooms. Exterior work is going on. If you go there, it almost looks kind of complete. That's kind of nice. HVAC curbs being complete. Putting the point in masonry veneer. Looks really good from the outside already. So, but they're on schedule to be done in early May. So it'd be nice to get that project done and stop spending money. So much money.
Thank you, Mr. Thorne. Any questions for Mr. Thorne regarding the school leadership report? Nothing heard. So that concludes the public portion of our meeting. Mr. Thorne, I don't have anything as far as going into executive session about. Do you?
Nope, nothing on the agenda, so we're good to go.
All right. Any last comments, saved rounds from the board? Nothing heard. So with that, thank you for your participation. Again, apologies for the format, but it is what it is due to the weather. And we'll plan to see everyone and convene next month. Thank you. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
Thanks. Good night.
Thank you.